Real estate kind of feels like the giant eye of Sauron beaming down on us, only it's the three eyes of housing: interest rates, inflation, inventory. How are the three eyes affecting the real estate market? And how can we battle against them? There's an interesting dichotomy happening in real estate today. Right now, inflation is up, which means values are up. So for homeowners, they're realizing some serious gains in property value. But at the same time, interest rates are up to try to hedge that very inflation. So as sellers are realizing gains in value, buyers are feeling the squeeze of increased monthly payments. And our market is having to shift in real time to adjust to those factors to make sure that buyers are able to afford housing. Interest rates have essentially doubled since January of 2022, when we saw the start of the year as an average of 3.45%. Now those rates have shot up faster than we've ever seen before, and they're hovering at an average of 6.95%. For buyers, this means that a house that's literally the exact same price as a house in January is going to cost you more per month for your mortgage simply because the interest has gone up so much higher. Inflation is playing a major role in these increases because as the Fed tries to tamp down inflation by raising rates, we're really feeling the squeeze in those monthly payments. In October, inflation was 7.7%, which actually is down from the peaks we saw in the summer of 9.1%. But until inflation can get closer to the 2% that the Fed prefers, interest rates are going to be responding to the rate of inflation and are likely to keep increasing. Amidst all of this, we're actually still in a seller's market for now. Until inventory can climb up to the 4 to 6 month range that brings us to a stable market, we're going to see sellers still having an advantage because, quite frankly, inventory is still low. But we're seeing inventory slowly crawling back up. More houses are coming on the market, and because buyers are feeling that squeeze we've discussed, they're staying on the market a little bit longer. Until we hit 4 to 6 months of inventory, which would level the playing field and create a stable market, the inventory is still in favor of the sellers. However, we are watching that inventory tick up month over month, so I have a feeling the seller's market has an expiration date, might be sooner than we think. So when I take the three eyes of inflation, interest rates, and inventory into account, if I'm a seller right now, here's what I would do. If my property is on the market or it's about to be on the market, one of the first things I'm gonna do is make sure I am in constant communication with my agent to make sure that we're responding to the market of the moment because things are changing rapidly. The second thing I would do is make sure my property was in tip-top shape. Buyers are starting to see more inventory, which means they're starting to have more choices. You may not be the only house on the block anymore, so make sure your property is in a condition that's going to make buyers compete over your door. And if I'm a buyer in today's market, I am going to be getting into action right now. Yes, interest rates are higher. Yes, that's affecting your monthly payment. But if you can swing that monthly payment, if I'm a buyer, I'm trying to get into action and get something figured out sooner rather than later. And the reason is we could wait a very long time to see interest rates come down and prices drop. I don't quite frankly see that happening anytime soon, but let's just play devil's advocate and say that it did and rates plummeted and prices dropped. You know what's gonna happen? Every single buyer is gonna flood the market and come out of the woodwork, and guess what? Prices, multiple offers, the insanity of 2021 is gonna be right back at your feet. Take advantage of the market now while you still can compete and negotiate. So for now, inventory is still low. Inflation and interest rates are high. It's that interesting dichotomy I brought up before that, two things can be true at once. Right now, it's a great time to act if you're looking to get into this real estate market as a seller or as a buyer. And at the very least, it's a great time to have a conversation with me to figure out what your current situation is. Everybody's in a different spot, and if you don't have the conversation, you might miss out. And if you're still having trouble wrapping your brain around how it can be a good time for buyers and sellers, well, let me tell you how two things can really be true at once. I'm Lindsey Johnson, your resource for all things real estate. See you next time.